7:07. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Joseph, Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Councilman Desume, Councilman Bieneme, Vice Mayor Keys.
Here.
Vice Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Officer Norman, Pledge of Allegiance, please. Officer DeJesus.
Remain standing.
Is Pastor Enoch here?
I'll do that too.
Okay, thank you. Officer DeJesus.
Good Lord, we thank you for bringing all of us here together. We pray for a very peaceful, safe, short, and wonderful meeting. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you. Amen. Mr. Manager, we have any additions, deletions, amendments to the agenda?
The only item I'd like, we need to remove tab F from the consent agenda.
That would be the first item to be heard?
Yeah, after the consent agenda, yes.
Also, Madam Mayor, tab H and J, if we could X those two to remove.
For discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Vice Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda except for items F, I think it was G and J.
H and J.
F,
H,
H,
and
and
J.
J,
You
I
wanna do that
apologize.
now?
So
You
moved.
ready to- Okay,
ready?
consent,
I
okay,
guess we're
out of
good.
order, but that's fine.
Oh, no.
That's okay, we can do that, can't we?
We can? Okay.
Got a motion? Roll call?
Motion? Oh,
Do
I have a
we-
motion made by Councilman Galvin to
approve?
approve the agenda.
Wait, hold on.
The two items that you pulled, Councilman, are you pulling those for discussion?
Yes.
Then we should probably have the discussion and then put it back in the consent and then vote for all the consent items. Otherwise, you're gonna have those two items as their own standalone items.
Okay.
Is that how we normally do
That's
it?
how we've been doing it.
Do it and then put it back? I
Yeah, if
don't
it's for
recall that.
discussion, you take it out, you have the discussion, and after discussion, if you're satisfied, you could put it back into the consent and then vote for the consent agenda altogether.
Okay, then let's go back to our regular order, and if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Start with our special presentations this evening. We have
Okay.
two.
Yes.
What am I doing?
This evening, we would like to bring Gloria Pastorella up, and we are going to be giving her a proclamation today in memory of her recently passed husband, John Pastorella, who was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1992. So I'm sorry for your loss. He recently passed. I believe we had done this before we even knew that. So the city would like to give you a proclamation on behalf of the mayor and the city council. Citizen Hall of Fame John Pastorella, elected 1992. Whereas Mr. John Pastorella, born in Ansonia, Connecticut, moved to North Miami with his wife and children in 1955 because of the climate. In 1958, he bought a gas station at the corner of Northwest 7th Avenue and 125th Street, which he owned for 30 years. Whereas John Pastorella, for over 25 years, sponsored the Little League in North Miami and regarded it as a stepping stone to his adulthood. Whereas John Pastorella would like to have seen every young man involved in Little League. He felt that sports are an ideal way to occupy children, keep them disciplined, help them set priorities to keep them from bad influences, and believe that all of these characteristics are important for success. Whereas John Pastorella was elected to the Personnel Board of the City of North Miami, first by city employees and later he was appointed by the board of the city council. And whereas John Pastorella's years of service to the city, he was known as a very fair, considerate, and responsible citizen and took his position very seriously, rarely missing a meeting. Whereas John Pastorella became a member of the 7th Avenue Merchants Association, he strove for the betterment of the 7th Avenue Business District by encouraging members to beautify the North Miami area, which in turn would encourage prosperity and attract others to join. Now, therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, Dr. Smith Joseph and the City Council, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby proclaim September 25th, 2018 to be John Pastorella Day. Thank you. Would you like to say something?
I just want to say that I'm very proud of him, and it's only 14 days that he's passed away, and I'm very proud of being his wife for 42 years.
So my first car was a 1978 Volvo, and I grew up on Northwest 5th Avenue, right around the corner from the Pastorella's gas station. Obviously, I filled my tank up many times at your station, so thank you for that. But I was also the president of the Sunkissed Grove. Back then it was called the West Side Homeowners Association in the early 90s. And whenever the Homeowners Association needed something, your husband, John, was there to donate, to support, and help in many, many different ways, whether it was donating to the Thanksgiving food drive that we had and any number of other things. So I remember fondly John and congratulate you on this honor tonight.
Okay. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are going to recognize one of our citizens, Blanca Cobo, and I'm going to invite Councilman DeSume and Councilman Galvin, who nominated her, to come up and say something.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor, Councilman Galvin. Blanca. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Indeed, I am so honored to be here to present this to a friend. I've known Miss Cobo, oh my God, since let's just say that. And I am so proud of her as not only as a resident of District 4, but she is a leader in our community, and she have done such an amazing work to better the entire North Miami community. She is a banking professional. She is all that you could say, and I'm going to let Councilman Galvin to say a few words before I read the plaque that we really want to honor her as part of our Spanish Heritage Month. Oh, your husband, would he please come forward? Come on up, come on forward.
Come on down, Frank. You're the next contestant. All right, for The Price is Right. So not only have I had the honor of knowing this young lady since I was a little boy, because my parents had their accounts at the bank, formerly Kislack, then Banco Popular, then Popular, whatever. But my family had our accounts at their bank for the longest. I also had a great honor of working alongside of you for a decade, because my former job, Junior Achievement, was located inside the bank. This woman right here, great minds think alike. When they sent us an email and said, who has a nomination for Hispanic Heritage Month? Who has an idea of somebody that's really contributed to this community that we could put forward? Alex and I, Councilman DeSulme and I, both came forward with Blanca Cobo's name. So it's a real true honor.
Find out tonight.
I know, honestly, I didn't know that we both nominated her till just now, literally, as we walked down here tonight. So it must be Northwest 7th Avenue night because gas station, the Pastorella's at Northwest 7th and 125, and Kislak Bank at 135 and Northwest 7th. Blanca, it's just really an honor to have you a member of our Hispanic Heritage honorees. So.
Go ahead and read it, or you want me? Oh, sure. Yes. And this is a certificate of recognition presented to Blanca Cobo in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month for your relentless dedication, years of service to the North Miami Foundation for Seniors, and your commitment to the Greater North Miami Chamber. Your contribution to the community in the city of North Miami are greatly appreciated and held to the highest regard. Thank you, and this was presented on the 25th day of September, presented by Councilman Scott Galvin and Councilman Alex DeSorme. Thank you.
I want to thank Scott and Alex. I've known them for many years, and I've been a resident of North Miami since 1966. I've called this city my home for so many years. My children grew up here. They went to school here. And I'm very proud of being a resident of the city because I feel like there's a very good government in the city. And we have had opportunities to be part of different organizations. And I really enjoy our life here. And I thank everybody for it.
Yes,
Because it was on the agenda.
I went walking.
Okay, we have an announcement for city events.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Council staff, North Miami neighbors, and guests. I am Cassandra Timothy, Public Information Officer, and I am here to share some of our city's upcoming events, programs, and outreach initiatives. Develop your professional skills at the Mayor's Job Training Academy, a 6-week course offered every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the NOMI Library. Participants will learn resume writing, interview techniques, gain access to employers and career services. Registration is available online. Hispanic Heritage Month celebration continues in the city of North Miami. The Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce will host a discussion regarding Latin Americans doing business in South Florida. The event will take place on Wednesday, September 26th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Miami Shores Country Club. Tickets are available for purchase on Eventbrite. North Miami Mayor Dr. Smith Joseph will honor Miami-Dade College President Dr. Eduardo Patron during a Key to the City ceremony set for 11 a.m. Monday, October 8th, right here in the council chambers. Stay tuned for more Hispanic Heritage Month celebration in the city of North Miami. You don't want to miss La Gran Fiesta and our upcoming neighborhood block party. Mingle with Latin Grammy Award winner Nestor Torres before he takes the stage for Jazz at Mocha. The event will take place in the Mocha Courtyard, Friday, September 28th at 6 p.m. There is an admission fee of $10 benefiting the Friends of the North Miami Library. Mocha after-school team programs as well. Free entry for North Miami residents and Mocha members. All white tropical attire is requested. Join your local neighbors for a night to unite at the North Miami Police Department on Tuesday, October 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Meet your local heroes from the North Miami Police Department at National Night Out. Enjoy free food and family entertainment. Admission is free. Join Councilman Philippe Bien-Aimé and the Association of Haitian Educators of Dade for a back-to-school breakfast on Saturday, October 6th from 9 to 11 a.m. at FIU Coven Center. Guest speaker includes State Senator Oscar Brandon II, Miami-Dade County School Board members Dr. Steve Gallen and Dr. Dorothy Bendroth-Minigal. Karen Andre will serve as the mistress of ceremony. RSVP is required to aheadflorida@gmail.com as seating is limited. Are you ready to earn your high school diploma? Now is your chance to do so for free at the Nomi Career Online High School, available through the North Miami Public Library. Contact the North Miami Library for details and to learn upcoming information sessions. Practice your English in a friendly, relaxed atmosphere through guided conversation over a cup of coffee or hot tea at the next English Cafe session. Sessions take place at the North Miami Public Library. Classes are held every Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Looking for after-school activities for your children? You may now sign them up for weekly after-school care and homework assistance program. Fun days are also available on teacher planning days. For more information, contact the Parks and Recreation Department. Pre-sale tickets for our popular Halloween Haunted Trails and Kids Fun Zone will go on sale beginning October 1st. Purchase a five-ticket family pack for the price of 4 tickets. Family packs are $20 and single tickets are $5. Tickets are available for purchase at the Parks and Recreation Department or at the Joe Celestine Center. Volunteers and vendors are welcome. Stay up to date with the latest happening in our city by first visiting www.northmiamifl.gov, then click the Connect with NOMI icon on our homepage, where you can sign up to receive our free NOMI newsletter and follow the City of North Miami on social media. Thank you.
Do we have an update on city projects?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm going to talk about the Pepper Park Playground. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not usually up here. Christine Carney, I'm the Assistant Director for Parks and Recreation Department. For the timeline for the Pepper Park Playground replacement, we've actually done the demo so far, and the selection of the design has been selected. We are currently receiving the permitting. Once we get the permit and the delivery of the equipment through the month of September, the build out will be in November, and then there may be some punch list items that we may have to address, and then we would have a grand opening sometime in December.
A grand opening of
Ribbon cutting for the opening of the Pepper Park Playground.
Pepper Park. Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Good.
Do you have anything on hurricane preparedness?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Angelo Brinson, Emergency Management. In regards to hurricane preparedness, there are currently 3 weather systems out in the Atlantic that we are currently monitoring. However, none of them currently pose a threat to South Florida. So as always, we will continue to monitor and provide any updates as they become available.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for the consent agenda, Councilman DeSomé has asked for discussion on tab H and J. Councilman, your question?
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The question I have, Mr. Manager, I know we had a threshold regarding the amount on items that is placed on the consent agenda, so just explain to me. That's why I pulled those 2 items specifically on the amount.
So with regards to H, that's a ratification of an item. That's a ratification, because we had already started some of the work, as you know, at the park.
Got it.
J was the other one that the item is 45,000, so it's below the threshold.
No, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be I, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right, because I had say H and H and J, so it was me. It's H and I. Yes, okay.
Oh,
So you
and
say-
I also was a sorry. I is also a ratification. That's the roof replacements
Okay.
that related to Hurricane Irma.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Madam.
Well,
There,
roof replacement of.
there are
Of what
several
building?
locations actually. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. It's Ben Franklin, Griffin, Enchanted Forest, the POC, and,
POC.
sorry, Parks Operations Center.
That's okay. We have to remember. Not
Yes,
everybody in the
I-
room speaks the lingo.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
That's actually.
And it's full replacement of the roofs at all
Not
four
full
facilities.
replacement of all the roofs, no.
Repairs of the
Repairs of
roofs.
the roofs, yes.
Okay.
Can I, Mr. Attorney, do I put the items back on consent? How does that work?
As long as you're comfortable with the discussion.
Yes,
then
I'm
we can-
fine.
Then we
I'm-
can take a vote
I'm
on the
okay.
entire
Have a-
consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda
Mm.
A
Can-
through J with the
Did you-
Give me
exception
a
of
quick,
F.
no, can I have a quick explanation of tab D? Of what it is exactly? D like dog.
That's the chief. Jury. He's.
Good evening. Assistant Chief Robert Page, City of North Miami Police Department, speaking on behalf of Chief Juriga, who's out of town. You had a question, Councilman, about item D?
Yeah, what it is.
The Narcan is the antidote for overdosing on various types of oxycodone, other types of drugs, the fentanyl that you see in the news. This is a grant that the police department has applied for. And one of the conditions of the grant is that we get the Narcan from this one cooperative procurement of healthcare products and services from Minnesota Multi-State Contracting Alliance and Pharmacy. That's where we have to buy the Narcan. Narcan is two forms. It comes in a nasal form or an injectable form. We're gonna get the nasal form. So if we go to a overdose call and the person is non-responsive, the greatest likelihood is that they overdose on some type of opiate type drug. We can spray the nasal spray into the nose, and lots of times the people will be revived before fire rescue can get there. You see it on the news. It's also for officers. If they come into contact with any type of opiate, they can also use the antidote to recover.
Okay.
And can I ask a question, Madam? Oh, and that's 45 for that? Is there other things among what you just described?
For, what was your whole question, Councilman?
Well, my question is, I'm looking at the
said
the tag
45.
price, of 45. This is
That was for the uniform.
for the. Oh, that's okay.
That's different.
So is there a price to it?
This is a grant that we applied for.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. I'm looking at something totally different. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
We have a motion for consent
Second.
agenda, less F. No, I need a motion.
Oh, you need a motion. So move.
Second.
Roll call.
I have a motion made by Councilman Desume to approve the consent agenda. That motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Thank you. Tab F, please.
Tab F. Tab F. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the execution of the police collective bargaining agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami, between the city of North Miami and Dade County Police Benevolent Association (PBA) for a period of 3 years commencing October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2021, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That's tab F.
Good evening, Honorable Vice Mayor, members of the council, city manager, city attorney, executive team, and the public. I'm Joe Roglieri, Personnel Director, and I would like to, before I start, recognize the negotiating team before I get into the details of the agreement. Paola Pierre, Babette Friedman, Chief Juriga, Adam Burden, Brett Schneider is our legal counsel, and Miguel Augustin provided additional financial review. Your PBA local reps are Erica Carter and Roland Baez, and I believe from the negotiating team, we have Attorney Axelrad, the president of the Dade County PBA. Anybody else? I think I had, that's everybody. So, this contract is an example of cooperative labor relations. We identified some problems with the contract, with the pay system that we had in the contract, and with our pay levels, and we worked together cooperatively since January to come up with this agreement. The overview of the changes include that we are now going to pay people who do extra duty assignments. We're going to pay people who work in the afternoon, who give up their time instead of coaching their kids, who work midnight shift while we're all sleeping. They're out there doing the work. Our old pay plan did not have the type of rewards that are standard in most major metropolitan police departments. So you've seen the numbers in my council report. I'm going to get to the highlight of that in just a moment. There were some other things we had to do. As you know, we've approved hiring more police officers. In order to be competitive for those police officers, we eliminated step 1 and step 2 of our pay plan, which automatically puts us more among the top groups in the county competing for the same pool of applicants. Additionally, we gave standard cost of living adjustments of 2, 2, and 2 in each year of the contract, with a final 2% at the final day of the contract. In addition to helping to make this work, the PBA, and this is unprecedented, gave up concessions to help offset the costs that we have going forward. The first concession was there is unallocated 185 money. 185 money comes from the state to help with the police pension to make it a better pension than the state plan or than general employees' plans. That allocation has been negotiated that a certain amount goes to the members, a certain amount goes to the city, and then the rest had been left unallocated. That unallocated amount totaled up to $627,494. The PBA has agreed to provide that money to the city to help offset pension costs, and that's the total unallocated amount going forward. In the future, for each year of this contract, instead of the allocation that we had before, they've agreed to a 50-50 split, so there won't be any unallocated money, and that results in additional $100,000 a year. So I'll be very brief. The costs in the first year total up to $584,883, including the 2% COLA. The second year, the COLA is $172,291. The third year is $184,524, a net cost of $941,698. The total of the savings between the $624 and the extra $101,000 a year, which is above what we used to get, is $931,000. So that's the net. However, I just want to be clear that that is not the total cost of the contract, because the costs in that first year do not go away. We're going to continue to give midnight assignment pay. We're going to continue to give assignment pay for being a detective, for being in the motor pool. Those things will continue to get pay. So the actual total payroll increase over the 3 years is $1,508,559. So the net cost for the 3-year contract, $571,856. I ask for a motion to approve.
We'll open this to public hearing. Would anybody like to speak on this?
Good evening. My name is Stedman Stahl. I'm the president of the Dade County PBA, and I wanted to thank the manager and Joe and everybody that's worked on this contract. It's a long overdue, and it's very rare when you come to a city that negotiates a contract before the contract expires. It's going to be October. It's going to go into effect for October. Many cities that we deal with, we are usually years past when they've expired. Public safety is a very important issue that's out there right now. We just saw it just last week, where you saw a shootout in the streets of Miami that I would put up to a shootout in Baghdad. It's a dangerous times out there. These guys up here, they do a great job. You've got a great police department. You should be very proud of them. But it's becoming to be very competitive out there. And tomorrow night, we're going down to meet with, we just started representing Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and they're going through some real tough hiring processes down there. So it's good that you've made the commitment to public safety. It's what the citizens demand. I know after the hurricane here, we saw that we could do without a lot of things, power and garbage being picked up. But the one thing you couldn't do without was your first responders. I want to thank you guys and Joe and everybody for, it's tough to do that. The manager, it's tough to make those decisions, but this will pay off to you in the long run. It's putting your community first, and I want to thank you all for hopefully approving this contract when it comes to the vote. Thank you again. And you got some great officers here, and you got a great chief, and you've done a good thing by making him permanent too. Thank you.
Seeing nobody else up here, I'm going to close public hearing. We have any comments?
Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to move approval, but if
No,
you have questions.
yes, I do. Mr. Manager, I have just two questions regarding what was said. Thank you for coming, Mr. Stahl. I think all of us here are supporters of our police department. But one of the things, Joe, I guess this question would be to you through the city manager. Are the employees, because I haven't had a chance, I think this was one of the session that I missed, this closed session, or did we have I believe so. Are the employees, are they okay with this? Because
Before we
the
would bring it
police-
to you, they would have had to vote in favor, so they
Okay.
have voted in favor of it.
Okay, so
overwhelmingly.
Okay, so our officers is okay with this. So now, Mr. Manager, was this represented in our budget that you presented to us?
Yes.
It was?
Yes, it was.
And we would keep in mind moving forward the next few years that this would be, and the 1.5 million that he mentioned, part of this report that will be balancing the budget, and we would be able to support that, right?
That is correct.
Awesome, thank you. If Councilman Galvin, I'll second your motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
Roll call.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab F. That motion was seconded by Councilman Desulme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for your hard work, both staff and PBA. Tab K, is that? Tab K.
Tab K, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders to Allied Universal Corporation for a 1-year term in the aggregate amount not to exceed $107,000 for the purchase and delivery of liquid sodium hypochlorite for the Winson Water Treatment Plant, piggybacking Martin County RFB number 2014-2696, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That's tab K.
Open, go ahead, sorry.
Good evening, council members. Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you under tab K is staff's request for your approval of a piggyback of Martin County's award to Allied Universal Corporation to provide our city with sodium hypochlorite as needed for the ongoing operation of our water treatment plant, and also requesting your approval of issuance of purchase orders to Allied in an amount not to exceed $107,000 a year. As reflected in the council report, which was submitted in support of this item, Martin County issued RFP number 2014-2696, seeking proposals for the purchase and delivery the necessary chemicals for their own utility department. In response to this solicitation, there were 14 vendors who submitted proposals, and Allied was awarded as the lowest bidder to supply liquid sodium hypochlorite. In order to ensure an ongoing supply of this essential ingredient, which is necessary for the provision of safe potable water to all city consumers, staff recommends approval of this piggyback. Also here with me in support of this item is staff from the Public Works Department, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
Open public hearing. Anybody would like to speak? Seeing no one, we'll close public hearing.
Move approval.
I have a
Call the
motion
question.
made. I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab K. The motion was seconded by Councilman Bieneme. This is a resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 4-0 vote.
Thank you. Tab L.
Once again, council members, tab L, the item that you have before you under this tab is a request from staff for your approval of an amendment to the existing agreement with the engineering firm of Hazen and Sawyer to provide engineering services to the city for the improvement and upgrade project for the city's water treatment plant in an amount not to exceed a fee of $2,943,600. As reflected in the memo that's submitted in support of the item, Hazen and Sawyer was commissioned by the city as the engineer of record for the planned improvements to the city's water treatment plant. Under prior work orders, Hazen and Sawyer has already provided engineering consulting services for the initial phases of this multi-phase project. The final phases of this complete upgrade to the plant will be incorporated and are included under the proposed work order number 6, which is before you this evening. The scope of services to be performed by Hazen and Sawyer include, but are not limited to, design updates, permitting, preparation of bid packages, bidding and award services, construction administration throughout the execution of the work, and submittal of state revolving fund reports on behalf of the city. As reflected on the second page of the council report, each major task to be performed under this contract is broken out and based on the total estimated duration for completion of the final phases, which is estimated to be 37 months. With me here tonight in support of this item is not only our Public Works Director, Mr. Worcester Pierre Lewis, but also Ms. Patricia Carney, who is the Vice President of Hazen and Sawyer, and who would like to, with the council's indulgence, to provide the council and the audience with a brief overview and update of this very comprehensive project.
Real quick, I don't recall reading tab L into the record, the resolution in itself. So, Mayor, would you like me to read it into the record before we continue?
Certainly.
The actual resolution? Okay, so tab L, and I'm going to read the resolution that our purchasing director just opined on.
That's what I didn't know.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to approve work order number 6, amending a professional design and construction management agreement between the city of North Miami and Hazen and Sawyer PC to provide design, permitting, bidding, and construction administration services for improvements to the city's Winston Water Treatment Plant with an estimated time for performance of 37 months at a cost not to exceed $2,943,600 in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in request for qualifications number 03-07-08, upgrades to current water treatment plant, the design and construction management of a new membrane water treatment facility, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, Patricia Carney with Hazen and Sawyer. We have a brief update as to the status of the water treatment plant project. Your plant is an excellent plant. Actually, it's a great water source, and over the last 10 years, you've won no less than 5 awards for best drinking water. So that's kudos to your staff for maintaining that plant as well as they have. Additionally, the plant complies with all drinking water standards, but operation of the plant is challenging at this point because the plant is really 55 years old. It was built in the early 60s, and it's really in need of rehabilitation. So consequently, the city decided to, in lieu of building a brand new membrane plant, which would be very, very expensive from a capital cost perspective, the city elected to rehabilitate the plant that you have and upgrade it. So not only will we be making it like new, but we'll also have a brand new EOC and offices and a brand new lab and parking and a lot of things that are lacking right now. In addition, there'll be some new water storage tanks as well. So this was a multi-phase project. The wells had to be rehabbed first. Those were completed in 2016. So those are all the drinking water wells that bring the water to the plant. The next step was to rehab the filters themselves, so it's a component of the overall plant, and that actually is ongoing right now. We're expecting startup in May of next year. And then the remainder of the plant is the next step and the last step. And we're expecting construction to start in about 9 months and to finish in late 2021. It's a very complex, difficult task because of the existing site. And if anybody's been to the water plant, you know how tight a site it is. It's a little bit difficult to work there. So the cost of the overall project, the well rehab was $240,000. The filter rehab is $3.1 million. That's the work that's going on now. And we estimate this next and last phase to be approximately $20 million. And that's it if you have any questions.
Oh, no, no,
Well,
public
when we-
first.
First, okay.
Public hearing first. Mr. Pierre, did you have anything further to add?
Whistler Pierre Lewis, Public Works Director. As was just mentioned, I'd like to add that this is the next phase in the continuation of rehabbing the water treatment plant. There were 2 prior resolutions that were approved by council for the work. The most recent one was for the filter work, which was shown in one of the pictures. And prior to that, it was bringing on the consultant, Hazen and Sawyer, for the design of the water plant. And I'd also like to stress that this work is required to remain in compliance with all regulations. Recently, we brought to you an emergency item because one of the storage tanks collapsed. So this 55-year-old plant is really on its last leg, and we're requesting your approval to move forward and continue with the rehab at the water plant.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to open public hearing.
You don't know where to go.
Jim Garrett, 11610 North Bay Shore Drive. I supported the manager in going and getting a revenue bond to pay for this because the voters wouldn't approve this. And pledging the revenues of the water and sewer plant to pay back the revenue bond because we got a favorable interest rate. We need to address this first, or water and sewer system. The plant is the first one. The next one should be the pipes in the city, the 90-year-old pipes for the water system and over the 50-year pipes on the sewer system. It should not be the streets and sidewalks. We need to follow the professional advice of our city administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing.
I have and
Councilman Bianame.
Madam Vice Mayor, tonight we are approving about $6 million in water and sewer project. And we are doing so from the enterprise fund. And we also are doing it for the benefits of the residents. But at the same time, we understand that the residents seems unhappy with everything that had been said in the public, that we are using enterprise fund to balance our budget and all the talk. And I think tonight we're gonna bring a solution on the table to make sure we gain confidence of the resident. That's why I will prefer that we move those items about the enterprise fund until the next council meeting, until we solve the issue of the budget situation. That will be my motion for tonight, that we move all the items in regard to water and sewer for $6 million until we know exactly, we have all the answers all the questions answered about this enterprise fund. That would be my motion.
Madam Vice Mayor, through you to the councilman, are you asking us to continue this to a date specific or continue it indefinitely?
Next council agenda.
So the October 9th City Council
Yes,
agenda?
yes.
I'll second your motion to continue the item until
Well,
October the 9th.
excuse me, Councilman Galvin, I had.
I'll withdraw
Madam-
my second so that discussion can
Sure,
continue.
thank you. I do have some concern, Mr. Manager, not in reference to, I don't have no objection to what Councilman Bien-Aimé was said, but this item, as large as it is, and I think it's occurring, and this is something that's important that we do need, but I was not aware of it until I got the agenda. And I do have a couple of questions and concern regarding the process, because I do know Hazen and Sawyer very well. Has nothing to do with that, but the process of how we got here, because I think the first initial, when this item came up was 10 years ago. Am I correct?
What I
No, this initial, the background of this started since 2008. So I just wanted to, my concern is, first of all, how do we, from what was done before, how did we get to the process to select? I need any community plan, because this is going to impact the residents who, you're looking kind of, oh, okay, the residents who live around the area. So I need a little bit more info, and I'm a little disappointed, because at least I should have been briefed on something this magnitude around my neck of the wood. But that all of us, would benefit. But like I said, those are my concern. The process, how we got here to selecting when was the RFQ put out? How did we get here? And what are the community plans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm only hearing about it, like I said, last week when I got the agenda. So that was one of my concern. And I know we've been talking all.
You want to?
My
well,
motion
let-
is to move tab M, tab N, tab O.
Wait, hold on. No. Yeah, he has to, I'm trying to get some answer, for my question.
What
Go
I
ahead,
was
sir.
gonna ask is, this item has a long history that obviously that precedes me as well.
Okay.
If you're going to continue this item to the next meeting, I think it'd probably be more beneficial to do a formal report to you that we can issue to the public and then be an attachment to the.
But
But
I
I know
just-
Whistler can walk you through it right now.
Yeah, but I do want to put it on the record. Something this magnitude, I would like to be brief before, because I do have some questions about the background.
Okay.
Because and my question will still remain the RFQ process, the community
Right.
plan,
I wanted to deal with
and
all
all
of those
that.
in the report.
I don't know if 2 weeks will be able to, if we would be, but that's fine. I will. When is the next meeting? Is it
October the 9th.
October the 9th, okay. Yeah, because the mayor, I know the mayor not here, we're missing one. So a lot of these, I don't know how we, at least, but anyhow,
If
okay.
we can bring a full report of the FRI fund, the $38 million, how much we already
That-
spent, or it's a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, all those projects.
Yeah, all of that.
money.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We have the details on the financing structure for all of this work, the pre-approvals, because.
How much money did we spend already?
Yeah, this, because Hazen and Sawyer has actually been approved. and
yes,
all
but
we're doing
when?
is literally, what was the first approval?
We understand
Yes,
that. We will-
I know.
Councilman DeSulme, you are
Yes.
correct. It was approximately 10 years ago. In fact, if you'll see on the second paragraph of the council report, it's right there in the second paragraph. It was back in May of 2008 that they were commissioned by this council. Obviously, I don't know if you were there at that point.
No. Was it Scott? I think Scott is the only one. That was it. Okay. All right. No problem.
So
Thank you.
we'll put the entire report with the background, funding sources, and all that stuff.
But
and have
you do get my concern if some.
absolutely
please.
do, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Just we're gonna do it one by one.
Should we, I think there,
Mr. City Clerk, Madam
Um,
Vice Mayor, okay.
Mr. Attorney, so these are items, I guess M through P all will deal, or Mr. Manager, all deal with enterprise funds, but they're all different matters? No? So let's,
They're all related to the water plant.
LMO.
No, we did L already.
No, L is this item.
We're on L.
Yeah, yeah.
LMO. Oh, excuse me. LMN.
O.
OMP.
O and P.
Is O enterprise fund? The
Mhm.
pumps? That is enterprise as well? So O. P as well.
Yes. And what about Q?
P, yeah, that's the
And
pump
Q.
station. Yeah,
And Q.
and Q.
The same water plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to bring all of those back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I do want to note, these projects are funded as part of the current year's budget and not the budget to
We
take place
understand
in
that. We
October.
understand.
So,
We're okay with that.
okay.
While we on that subject, and maybe
We're
Mr.
not on the
Sorry.
subject yet.
No, on
Budget.
this subject. Let me ask you a question, and I could be wrong. Didn't we have some, like a special fund where residents were paying into something? Scott, you've been on here longer. Into that particular fund dealing with the whistle. I don't know if it's the capital or is that part of that?
It's part of the
Okay.
entire enterprise.
All right, thank you.
So,
All right, so I need some procedural guidance here. So as far as I'm concerned, the mayor, council, administration want to remove the following basically off the agenda, and that's L, M.
Continue to the next agenda.
Continue to the next agenda, which is items L, M, N, O, P, Q.
Yes.
So, city attorney, do we have to do a vote, or is it just continue? How do you want me to proceed?
Q is not enterprise.
Okay, so we remove Q. So,
LMNOP, so we have a
Yeah.
motion to move,
So-
continue tabs L, M,
all of
and OMP. Do we have a second?
Second.
okay, so I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys.
I make
About-
the motion.
Yeah,
No, by
Oh.
Councilman Bianame
Okay.
made the motion.
so the initial motion was made by Councilman Bieneme to remove to continue the following items till the next council meeting. And that's items L, M, N, O, and P. That motion was second by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 4-0 vote. So now we are on tab Q. Let me find it here. Tab Q, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders in an aggregate amount not to exceed $225,000 annually for a 5-year term for the provision of original equipment manufacturer, OEM, and original equipment, OE, parts and services, piggybacking Miami-Dade County contract number FB-00399, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That was tab Q.
Council members, the item that you have before you under tab Q is staff's recommendation and request for your approval of the piggyback of Miami-Dade County Contract FB 00399. Now, this is a term contract that was issued by Miami-Dade County for the purposes of putting together a pool of pre-qualified vendors to provide the county with original equipment manufacturer, otherwise known as OEM, and original equipment, OE parts and services. The county issued their solicitation in January of this year, and in response to that solicitation, there were 78 vendors or suppliers that responded, and of those, 52 were awarded contracts. Now, the contracts were divided into 3 groups that are reflected in your council report. Group 1 used to procure OEM parts. Group 2 includes OEM and OE parts. And Group 3, OEM, OE parts, and repair installation services. Now, this is a contract that will be utilized on an as-needed basis by the city's vehicle fleet maintenance program. The requested amount to be approved is a not-to-exceed amount of $225,000. The county's estimated buying volume for this term contract is over $70 million over 5 years. So obviously, given the volume of purchasing, you're obviously going to get the most competitive pricing with regards to these parts and equipment. Here with me in support of this item is Mr. Jeff Geimer, who is in charge of the city's vehicle fleet maintenance program. And if you have any questions regarding the program and what this contract will entail, I'm sure Mr. Geimer will be glad to answer them.
Good evening. Just here to answer any questions. Jeff Geimer, Capital Project Manager.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing. If anybody would like to speak on this item, seeing no one, we'll close public hearing.
Move approval. I'll withdraw my motion.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. No, it's okay.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab Q. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Tab R, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute a fourth option to renew professional services agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and Risk Management Associates, Inc., DBA, Public Risk Insurance Agency, for the continuation of police professional liability insurance coverages services as required by Florida law at the annualized premium amount of $189,920, I guess, and providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That was tab R.
Good evening, council members. This is Karen Muir, and I'm the Risk Management Director. And this is the fourth one-year annual term renewal for the police professional liability. And I must add that initially we had approached the insurance company for indications for the budget process for 2019, and they had offered us like a 15 to 20% increase. They proposed that. So what we did was we had an audit, which included the police department, risk management staff, and so forth. And they were so pleased to see the proactive measures that have been taken to mitigate risk and to avoid losses in the police department. So as a result of that, we're looking at a 2.5% decline in the premium over last year's premium. And next year, we plan to go out to bid this coverage.
Good. Almost $5,000 discount. Good
Yes.
job. Good job. Okay. Open public hearing. Seeing none, we'll close public hearing. Any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab R. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote. Tab S, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager and city attorney to execute a fourth option to renew professional services agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and Risk Management Associates, Inc., DBA Public Risk Insurance Agency, for the continuation of public official and employment practices liability insurance coverage services at the annualized premium amount of $71,058, including applicable agency service fees as required by Florida law, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
And this coverage is basically renewing the public officials and employment practices liability, which is essentially the errors and omissions coverage for the city. And there was a negligible increase of 0.15% over this last year's rate, and this was just for underwriting reasons. This coverage will also be going out to bid next year, since this is the last of the 4-year renewal term.
open public hearing. Would anybody like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, we'll close public hearing.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab S. The motion was seconded by Councilman Bieneme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote. Tab T. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA fiscal year 2017 through 2018 amended budget, authorizing the city manager to transmit the CRA fiscal year 2017 through 2018 amended budget to Miami-Dade County, authorizing the city manager to take all action necessary to complete the approval process for the CRA fiscal year 2017 through 2018 amended budget with Miami-Dade County, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That was tab T.
Madam Vice Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to move to continue this item until the October 9th City Council agenda, as this is another budget-related item. I'd like to continue it till October the 9th, knowing that we also have a CRA meeting before that, and ask that the CRA present a extended dive into the CRA budget.
So I have
You're
a
talking
motion.
about, Scott, you're talking about the amended one, 17, not this one.
No,
Not
this
year
item,
budget.
item T, I'm asking that we continue this item until the October the 9th meeting, and that the CRA staff be directed to give an extended dive into that CRA budget at the half-hour meeting before we actually vote on this
Well,
at the next meeting.
you have already approved it as the CRA board, so if you want, we can do that. I mean, we can do that presentation.
My motion, Madam Vice Mayor, is to continue this until October the 9th.
I second that.
I have a motion made by. Just to
Second for
clarify,
discussion.
no, sure, no, I'm with that. I just want to clarify, Councilman Galvin, at our regular meeting on the 9th, you're saying?
We have a CRA meeting at 5:30 p.m. on October the 9th.
Okay.
I would ask that the CRA staff make a deep dive in that short period of time, so you got time to get tight, get serious, get down into it, but to do that presentation so that then this item is then on the
9th.
city council meeting
Okay.
that same night of October the 9th.
Got it, okay.
Half an hour later, and the council could then consider voting on it.
Okay.
So, just so I'm clear, all you're asking for on the October 9th CRA meeting is a presentation, because you already approved it as
Correct.
a CRA board.
Presentation.
Okay.
Everybody can have at it, and if they don't like it, if at that 5:30 meeting, everybody's in the room, they just think it's awful, it's horrible, we can't, then when we're asked at the 7 p.m. council meeting to approve this, we can either vote it up or down.
Okay.
Y'all
Right,
set-
that's why I said it.
Y'all said, Alex?
Yes,
Yes, I'm all set.
So, staff seems to have some.
The confusion is, you approved it as a CRA board, so it would, in my mind, it would be more appropriate to do that presentation at the city council meeting.
I'll do you one both. Let's
Okay.
do it at the 5:30 meeting and the 7 o'clock meeting.
Okay.
Let's make sure anybody and everybody who has a question on that CRA budget has every opportunity to make any inquiries that they want to.
Okay.
So I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin, motion to continue this item, tab T, till the next council meeting. The motion was seconded by Councilman Bieneme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote. Tab U.
That's the same thing.
Proposed
So,
resolution, y'all still
wait,
gotta read it into the record though, folks. So, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency fiscal year 2018 through 2019 budget, authorizing the city manager to transmit the CRA fiscal year 2018 through 2019 budget to Miami-Dade County, authorizing the city manager to take all action necessary to complete the approval process for the CRA fiscal year 2018 through 2019 budget with Miami-Dade County and providing an effective date. That was tab U.
Question, Councilman Galvin. Mr. Attorney, while we there, can we ask him a question?
Mr. Sackowitz, would you come up and?
Yes,
Please.
Mr. Attorney, real quick question. How are you?
That was a quick question. Thank you. I'm fine.
No, you have more coming. Are we still under the same guideline, or would we validate, are we doing anything out of order, as this is required to be transmittal to the county, or we still okay if we carry it after our budget has, passed?
Well, first of all, Steven Zelkowitz, North Miami CRA General Counsel. The interlocal agreement with the county required the budgets to have been adopted previously and transmitted to the county.
Okay.
Our, I guess, handicap in not approving this by the city tonight, or the amendment to the other budget, is we can't spend any money until the city
No.
approves it.
Which I'm fine with. But we would not be in violation of our interlocal agreement with them, with the county.
We are technically in violation of the agreement by not completing the budget approval process and transmitting it to the county at this time. But we will advise the county staff of what transpired tonight, and I presume that they'll understand, because they typically don't get to the budgets until December anyway.
Okay, so we should be okay. Okay, no
been
problem.
late
We've been late before?
They've been late before.
Okay.
Everyone's been late before.
Awesome. All right, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to continue.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to continue, motion to continue this item, tab U, to the next council meeting. The motion was seconded by, I guess it was seconded by Councilman Desume.
It could be BNMA, that's fine.
I think it was Councilman Bieneme.
Yeah.
Item was seconded by Councilman Bieneme. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote.
B.
Tab W.
B.
V.
I don't, oh, shit. So, tab V. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the mayor of city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving an amendment to the housing program guidelines to establish a new application time period and to establish a new lottery selection process, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you. For the record, Tanya Wilson Chajor with Community Planning and Development Department. Staff is recommending approval of the resolution in order to amend the existing housing program guidelines to eliminate the current first come, first serve, first qualified criteria as established for the new application period, and to institute a period of October 1st to October 31st for the new lottery process, allowing residents the same probability for funding selection. As the council is aware, North Miami is an entitlement city, and we receive HUD funds annually. The existing process through the housing guidelines requires a criteria of first come, first serve, first qualified. That's created quite a bit of issues within the city over the years. We've had residents that have slept in their cars in order to be first in line. We've had safety concerns where we've had to have police and other personnel staying out front of our office to make sure that folks are safe. We've also had questions regarding transparency in the process. So I know the mayor and council has asked us in the past to consider amending the housing guidelines to allow for a lottery process. And in that instance, folks would then have equal opportunity over the space of 30 days in order to submit an application to our office and then have a lottery selection process. So the resolution would allow for amendment of those guidelines and institute a new process as requested by City Council.
Thank you. Okay. Open the public hearing. Would someone like to speak on this? Seeing no one, we'll close public hearing.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve tab V. The motion was seconded by Councilman Zume. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 4-0 vote. Tab W.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, do you have to administer the oath for this?
Is it the clerk? The
The
clerk.
clerk, excuse me.
If anyone intends to be heard on tab W, considering the fact that it is in fact a quasi-judicial item, please rise so I can swear you under oath.
What is this?
Oh, wow. Okay, please raise your right hand.
The mayor usually take a picture so that you'll know.
Just answer the question. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
Hold
nothing
on,
but the
Michael.
truth, so help me God? All right.
Hold on. Wait.
Bill-
Stay up.
Bill
stay up.
Howard.
They want to make sure. Look at Jim. Somebody stand up. Whoever's in. Somebody in the back. See, there was. Wait a minute.
Miss Medina
Did
can
Howard
also
stand
stand.
up? Okay, Howard.
Wasting my digits. Okay. Okay.
Carol just went over her plan.
Ah.
Data, thank you.
Switch.
Okay,
I
come
don't
on
see
up,
this
come on
tab.
up.
My, Arthur,
Oh.
where is this tab?
Is there a presentation on what
I'm
the item
sorry.
is?
Yeah, do we want to,
But
I'm
where-
sorry.
where
Sit
is
down.
it? Mr. Arthur, where is it on here? It's nowhere to be found.
Approving the site plan for a proposed 6,129 square foot facility, including convenient store and fuel canopy with 12 fueling positions on the 0.59 acre real property generally located at 13705 Northwest 7th Avenue and specifically identified with Miami-Dade County folio number 06-2124-002-3290 in accordance with Article 2, Division 7, Section 2-701, and Article 3, Division 2, Section 3-204 through Section 3-206 and Article 3, Division 3, Section 3-302 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Chapter 29 entitled Land Development Regulations, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you again. For the record, Tanya Wilson Sejour with Community Planning and Development. This is a request for an approval of a conditional use permit for a property that's located at 13705 Northwest 7th Avenue, and that's located on the northeast corner of Northwest 7th Avenue and Opelika Boulevard. The property itself is about half acre in size. It's zoned C1 commercial and is located within the Planned Corridor Overlay District area. It's currently used as a pro-energy gas station with a convenience store. So in terms of the proposed revisions, they're looking to demolish the existing gas station and convenience store and develop a new 7-Eleven convenience store with a fuel canopy. The size of the convenience store itself is over 3,000 square feet in size. They're contemplating 12 fueling stations, and that's actually a reduction from the number of fueling stations that are there now. You have a total of 16, so that's a reduction down from 16 to 12. Anticipating 9 parking spaces. I want to point out, I don't know if it's clear in the rendering on the screen, but you'll see that the proposed architectural design is contemplating an Asian architectural theme. Even though this is not exactly within the boundaries of the Chinatown district, it's exactly just north of the limit of that district. 7-Eleven found it prudent to still celebrate the actual theme of the Chinatown area, and they would be essentially the first architectural Asian Chinatown type style building that we'd have on Northwest 7th Avenue, really heralding what's to come on the southern side of the district. So you'll see the upturned eaves on the roof line. You'll see in terms of the architectural elements that it's paying homage to the architectural character of that entire corridor. So in terms of the next steps, once they are able to obtain approval from City Council for the proposed site plan, they'll be moving forward with requesting building permits for the city. The site plan itself has 18 months in terms of its shelf life. It's good for 18 months after approval. The architectural team is here and wishes to do a formal presentation before City Council at this time.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, council members. My name is Jennifer Fine. I represent 13705 Opelika LLC, the current owner of the property located at 13705 Northwest 7th Avenue, and 7-Eleven Inc., the contract purchaser and applicant. As staff mentioned, we're here before you tonight in order to obtain approval of a site plan for a brand new 7-Eleven convenience store and service station on the approximately half-acre site, which is located on the corner of on the northeast corner of Northwest 7th Avenue and Opelika Boulevard. 7-Eleven, as staff mentioned, is proposing to demolish the existing convenience store on the site and fuel canopy, which was originally constructed in 1968 and to replace it with a new state-of-the-art 3,033 square foot convenience store and fuel canopy, which will accommodate 12 fueling stations. Although the property is located just outside the boundaries of the New Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District, in a nod to the city's vision for this portion of the city and Northwest 7th Avenue in particular, the design proposed by the applicant incorporates an Asian architectural aesthetic, including an upturned roof line, green barrel roofing tiles, and parapet framing. The proposed one-story convenience store will also include building entries with tower elements, swooping tower roof lines, and accented building corners. The entries will be framed by tower elements with accent colors and green metal roof tiles. And additional architectural features include raised parapets at each corner and decorative cornices that wrap around the building. We wanted to note that mechanical equipment will be completely screened from view on all sides. In accordance with the design guidelines of the city's Chinatown Conceptual Master Plan, special attention was given to the roofing materials and colors. The chosen roof-colored green symbolizes youth and longevity. The project also incorporates generous landscaping and an active storefront close to the street. These design elements will complement the new Chinatown Cultural Arts and Innovation District and help transform Northwest 7th Avenue from an eclectic collection of buildings to a balanced, unique, and attractive destination in the city. Additionally, the proposed 7-Eleven will provide benefits to the city, franchise business opportunities, creation of jobs. 7-Eleven has also traditionally been a great neighbor and corporate citizen, as exemplified through its partnerships with several local charities and organizations, youth programs, food donation, etc. The city's development review committee has reviewed the proposed site plan and has determined that it complies with all development requirements. All comments issued by the committee have been satisfactorily addressed by the applicant. And accordingly, we respectfully request that, in accordance with staff's recommendation, you approve the proposed site plan. Thank you for your time, and we're available to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Okay, open it to public discussion, hearing.
Jim Garrett, 11610 North Bay Shore Drive. First of all, it is an improvement. My mom lives by there, and I grew up by there. It is an improvement than what is there now. However, I want to bring up the fact that 7-Eleven has two troubled properties in this city. The one over Northeast 6th Avenue and 125th Street, which a local artist, Tim Stout, got the crap beat out of him on 3:45 in the afternoon. Chief Jariga probably have the results, and how the police department has been out there continuously on cars, probably weekly. I saw an MMA fight on a afternoon at 1 o'clock, and I made the 911 call, and the police were there within 3 minutes. The second is one over in San Souci by my house, where I live. Chief Jariga has installed lights in the parking lot. There's a green area between San Souci Boulevard and the 7-Eleven. It's dark. There were people hanging out there after 11 p.m. at night, and if you went there to shop, they would come out. And they would try to approach you, and they try to ask you for money, and they would threaten you. We have eventually the new one on 7th Avenue, 119, it will become a problem after a while. The second thing is the design. I don't like the green right here on the north side of the property will allow the same problems to come about, just like the one in San Souci. So, and the other thing is, we need to attract 7-Eleven, Polytropical, and Dollar Tree. We're attracting minimum wage employers in this city. We need to go a little bit higher class. We need to start attracting the Lucky supermarkets that pay $15, the Wawas that pay $15, and pay for benefits. That's my comments.